Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm so sorry. My apologies to my dear ones, my little fairies and little fellows. I am late. It is because not in my own city. Not in Lahore. I'm in London. Yes. So there was a bit confusion about the timings. So here I am with a story about a donkey. Are you all ready? Yes. And how's your Ramadan going? Are you all keeping fast? Sab roze rakh rahe hain? Wonderful. Yes, are you all helping your mom in the kitchen making maze ki iftari? Are you doing that? Isn't that wonderful? What a blessed month. How lucky we are. Quran Majid was revealed in this month. It was brought to our Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, our Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad. That's right. And if we read Quran and if we read it with meanings and try to understand, we'll be awarded so many blessings. And if we do good deeds besides starving, not eating, what's going to happen? Yes, we will be blessed again and again. This is a very special, lucky bonus month for us. Whatever we do multiplies. Yes. So are you all fasting? If you can't, you can keep small fasts. Do you get up at Seher? Are you punctual? And are you reading prayers? Please remember me and everybody and your country and your parents in the prayers. Always pray for yourself and your country and your parents. Yeah. And do you know, we have to be kind and we are not supposed to be angry. No anger. Even if you feel angry and cross and upset, we should control it. And that is the best way to fast. Roza rakhne gusse se. Jeet. Right. From bad moods, respect your elders. And always look around if somebody needs food, clothes, shoes, kind words. Please do that. Did I tell you the story about this family who was living in a street in Baghdad, and now they were two kids. They were a very happy family, and they were preparing for iftari, and then after iftari they were planning to go for Eid shopping. And at the time of iftar, and we read the dua, Allah, Bismillah, Rahman Rahim, Allahumma inni laksamtu ala rizqika wa tawakkaltu wa alayka tawakkaltu. Yes. And then we open our fast at iftari with dates, water, and then lots of goodies. We are so lucky. Okay, these two kids, Amna and Ahad, yeah, they were very good kids. And they asked their father, now we are going for Eid shopping. What would be the best thing to do for Eid, which would make Allah happy? And he said, the best thing is to share your bounties, your gifts with others who can't afford to buy them. Amna and Had right away said it together. Oh, Daddy, the families of Mirzas who live down the lane. I saw their children, they had no shoes on their feet and even their clothes were torn. Maybe when we buy our shoes and clothes, we can buy something for them. Oh, wonderful, Ahad and Amna. What a splendid idea. But do you know, their mother said, Ahad and Amna, when you give something to somebody out of sympathy, concern, charity, you must make sure they don't feel embarrassed. They don't get to see you. Yeah, it kind of spoils it for them and hurts them. And we don't want to hurt anybody when we are so happy on Eid. And So they decided that they will buy stuff for them, shoes and clothes, and then put them where? Yes, outside their home, because they knew that they would get up in the morning and fetch things for the groceries for their mother in the morning, both the brother and the sister. So they'll put it there and they will know who's placed it there. So after Seri, Amna and Ahad were very excited. They packed up the gifts of shoes and clothes just like their own. Isn't that wonderful? Because Prophet said, always choose for others what you choose for yourself. जो आप अपने लिए पसंद करते वो ही दूसरों के लिए पसंद करें. Yes. And then they put the gifts. They were so excited and they tiptoed back. Even they were on the street. They couldn't have heard them. They must be fast asleep or saying their prayers inside. But when in the morning they could see from the window, from Amna's bedroom window, and they could see down the street and they saw those two kids. Oh, Amir and Alia, what were they doing? They got out and they forgot the grocery bags. They dropped them and they saw gifts. They could see them running back into the courtyard to their mom. They could see them jumping and opening, tearing open the gifts. And there were slip shoes and clothes for them. And their mother thanked God for the kindness. She knew it must have been one of the neighbors. Otherwise, who would know what they're going through? But that was such a beautiful thing to do, bringing joy, smile, and happiness to others. That's the best way to spend your Ramadan and Eid. And I'm sure your mums and papas have told you that, your aunts and your grandmothers and grandpas have already told you. I'm just giving you a gentle reminder. Love you guys. Love you dolls. Okay, now let's get started with the story. I'm sorry, I did bring puppets, but I misplaced them. I made a donkey, because the story is about a runaway donkey. Let's see what kind of a donkey was he and why did he run away? Are you all ready? Yes. Did you call your friends and cousins? Spread the word. Yes. There was the runaway donkey. Can you see that? Yes, the runaway donkey. There was once a gnome who owned a fat, great donkey. The donkey was called Kick Up, because when he was angry, he kicked up his hind legs. Hind legs are back legs. You were right. You're a smart kid. You have good vocab. So why was he called a kick up? Because he would kick his back legs when he was upset and he didn't care who he was hurting. He had a good home with his master, the gnome, and his master's name was Twiddle. Do you remember the poem? Twiddle-dee-dum. Yes. And although Twiddle was very fond of the donkey and did all he could to make him comfortable, Kick Up was always complaining, making these kind of soil. Like your parents make you comfortable, don't they? Once Twiddle bought a dog, but the donkey made such a fuss, that he had to sell it again. Oh, now Twiddle would listen to his donkey, because he was very fond of him. How can I sleep when that dog barks all night? Complained Kick Up. Poof! I won't work for you, Twiddle, if you keep him as well as me. Then Twiddle tried keeping hens because he was a kind-hearted gnome. He loved animals and he loved life around him. He loved taking care of him. It kept him busy and made him feel good. I won't work. Okay, hens, for he was very fond of boiled eggs too. Where do we get the eggs from? Yeah, the hens. Cluck, 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 cluck. Who sounds like that? Cluck, 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 cluck. The hens. Kick Up kicked up his heels in a fury. No, and sent the basket of eggs which Twiddle was carrying carefully right up into the air. And of course, all the eggs broke. How mean can you be? Well, why do you keep those nasty clucking creatures? Cried Kick Up in a rage. As soon as I lie down for a snooze in my field, those hens lay eggs and start the most terrible cackling, cluck cluck, I ever heard. It is such a grand thing to lay an egg. No, it is not. Even snails lay eggs. Oh God. So whatever Twiddle wanted, if it didn't suit Kick Up, so he would tell his master, no. Don't worry yourself, said Twiddle gently, for he was a gentle person, for he was a good-tempered gnome. If the hens disturb you, Kick Up, they shall go. I'll give them to my next-door neighbor. You know that I'm very fond of you, and I want you to be happy. Just like your mums are very fond of you and they want to keep you happy. And your job is to keep your parents happy. One day, Twiddle dug up a great many potatoes and thought he would take them to the market to sell. He had far more than he could eat, so he had plenty enough of potatoes. He thought he'll sell some of them in the market and make some money. And with the money, buy some paint. Why did he want to buy paint? Imagine, to make Kick Up's stable look attractive, clean and smart. So all he could think of was how to make Kick Up happy and comfortable. What a kind gnome. So he spoke to Kick Up and told him that he must take him to market the next day, carrying a big sack load of potatoes. Potato. Now Kick Up had grown fat and lazy. He had planned to snooze, that means take a nap, and sleep in the hot sunshine all the next day. Not the sunshine like in Lahore, sunshine like in London. Yes, which I'm enjoying. I'm lucky. All the next day, and he was cross to hear that he was to go all the way to market carrying a heavy load. He was very unhappy because he did not like to work. That's why he was a big fat donkey. Master, you work me too hard, he complained. It is too hot to carry loads to market, to carry heavy sacks to market. I shall get sunstroke and then you will be sorry. Oh, Gnome thought about it. You know, when we have a problem and a trouble, what are we supposed to do? Think. Not get worried, not get anxious, not get angry. Think. Where do we think from? From our heads. He thought of an idea. He said, okay, Kick Up, I'll get you a sun hat today. Said Twiddle, I should not like you to get sunstroke. Kick Up, because I'm really fond of you. But you must go to market with me tomorrow. I cannot possibly carry the heavy sacks of potatoes by myself. Oh, I tell you, it is too hot to go to market, said the donkey sulkily, complaining all the time, frowning all the time. If you treat me like this, I shall run away. As for a sun hat, I don't want one. I should look silly wearing a hat. But Twiddle was so afraid that his precious donkey would get sunstroke, for it was certainly very hot, that he went off to buy a large straw hat, sun hat, for him to block the sun, so he would not get sunstroke, with 2 holes for his ears and a large pink rose in front. It's cute, right? To make the hat look pretty. When he got back, he slipped it over Kick Up's head and tied the ribbon firmly under his chin. You know how your moms make hats sometimes. Or scarves? Yes. You look very nice, said Twiddle admiringly. You look cute. Kick Up jumped up in a temper and ran to the pond. He looked at himself in the water. You can see yourself like a mirror in the water. And he saw his reflection. Usna image dekha, right? He looked at himself and then flew in a dreadful rage. I look foolish, stupid, ridiculous, and a perfect silly, he shouted in a rage. Take the hat off at once, Twiddle. Who is master? Who is master? You or I? You or... Yeah, for once, Gnome was firm with her. Quite firmly. I shall run away if you don't take off this hat, cried the donkey. At that, the gnome turned his back on him and walked away. He didn't pay any attention for the first time, hoping that Kick Up would be in a better temper by the next day. But do you know what do you think happened? Do you know when Twiddle went to Kick Up? When Twiddle went to Kick Up's stable the next morning, can you see me clearly? I hope so. Okay. Next morning, the door was open and Kick Up was not there. He had quite gone. Twiddle stared in the greatest surprise. Oh, then he looked all around the field. No little fat donkey was anywhere to be seen. It was terrible. It was horrible. Kick Up had kept his word and had run away. That's why the name of the story is Runaway Donkey. Now let's see. When Kick Up runs away, how does Twiddle feel? Twiddle stared in the greatest surprise. Then he looked all around the fields. And he was disappointed again. Twiddle's eyes filled with tears. He had had the donkey for 10 years and had cared for him and loved him very much. He would miss him dreadfully, even though the little donkey had been so ill-tempered, bad-tempered, always complaining. I must see if I can find him, thought the gnome. He always think. And he would always think. And he set off for his friends' houses. Have you seen a fat grey donkey wearing a sun hat? He asked Gobo, who was feeding his hens in the back garden. He's run away. Good riddance too, said Gobo at once. Let's hope he stays. So nobody liked Kick Up. See what the friends have to say? And they're very good friends of, what's his name? Twiddle. But I'm lonely without him, said Twiddle. Poor old Twiddle, said Gobo. It's a shame. Look. He thought because he was a friend, he wanted to help him. Please, will you accept 3 white hens from me for a present? They will lay you lovely eggs for breakfast. And now that Kick Up is gone, there's no one to grumble about the cackling. Oh, thank you, cried Twiddle, pleased. Always thank everybody when they do something for you or they give you something. I shall love to have eggs for breakfast tomorrow. He got excited. Finally, he could have what he loved. So he took the hens home in delight and put them into the hen run, the place, where the coop where the hens are kept. The caged, fine meshed cage net. Then off he went to his friend Tirley, who lived at the other end of the village. Have you seen my fat grey donkey? He asked. He's run away and he's wearing a sun hat. Poor Twiddle is not giving up. No, I haven't seen him and I don't want to, said Tirley. Now there's another good friend of him who did not like Kick Up, but they did not force him to give up. He horrid thing he was with his bad temper and rude ways. Do you agree? I completely agree. You're well rid of him. It's good that you got rid of him, that he's left. But I'm lonely without him, said Twiddle. Poor old Twiddle, said Tirley, who was very fond of his gentle friend. Look here, old man, I've got 3 beautiful puppies here. I'd like to give you one of them to keep you company. Because you're lonely, you won't be lonely anymore. He'll grow up into a lovely dog and be very fond of you. Oh, thank you, said Twiddle gratefully. He took the puppy home and called him Tinker, which the puppy thought was a lovely name. So the puppy was just like the gnome, his master, a happy person. Kick-Up had not come back, so off went Twiddle to the next village to call on his friends there. He knocked at Tiptoe's door and she opened it. Have you seen a fat grey donkey wearing a sun hat? Asked Twiddle. He's run away from me. Well, don't have him back, said Tiptoes at once. You are well off without him, the bad-tempered creature. But I'm lonely without him. Hello? But I'm lonely without him, said Twiddle mournfully. Then Tiptoes was sorry for the little gnome. What you want is a cat sitting by your fireside, she said. Look, here is a little black kitten for you. It'll bring you luck, I promise. Twiddle was delighted with the cuddly black kitten. He put it under his coat and then went to call on another friend, Too Tall, next door. Have you seen a fat grey donkey wearing a sun hat? So what were the friends' names? Tirley, Too Tall, yes, Gobo, and Tiptoes. Have you seen a fat grey donkey wearing a sun hat? He asked Too Tall. He's run away. That's a blessing, said Too Tall at once. I never did like that horrid donkey of yours. So nobody liked Kick-Ups because they knew what he was about. Eating, lazy, being mean and rude, showing temper. Yes, so nobody likes kids or people like that, do you? And while you're fasting, no bad tempers. Yes, but I'm lonely without him. You have to be patient, said Twiddle. Poor old Twiddle, cried Too Tall. I'm sorry for you. Wait a minute. I have 2 sweet trained pigeons you would simply love. They say cuckoo. They say cuckoo all day and are fine company. I'll give you those 2 pigeons. They'll perch on your hat. Perch means sitting with delicate feet on the hat. On your hat all the way home, so you won't have any trouble with them. Twiddle was delighted with the pretty white pigeons. They perched on his hat, right at once and quite at home there, pecking Twiddle's big ears, loving every now and again. Last of all, Twiddle called on his friend, Very Rich. Now, what is his name? Very Rich. And knocked at his door. Yeah, Very Rich was pleased to see him, shook hands and delight. Hey, good to see you. Have you seen a fat grey donkey wearing a sun hat? Asked Twiddle as usual. He's run away and I'm lonely. Well, you can thank your lucky stars that he's gone. You're a lucky guy. The wretched thing, the horrid thing, bad-mannered, said Very Rich, who had been kicked by Kick-Up, and he could not forget it. But I'm lonely without him, said Twiddle. And also it's very, very awkward because I have a load of potatoes to take to market and I have no donkey to take them now. Well, said his friend, who was called Very Rich because he was very rich. Let me see. It's always to think. How would you like me to give you my old pony? I don't need it. Pony is a baby horse, a calf. I don't need her anymore, and she would love to come and live with you. She can carry heavy loads and doesn't mind working it. Dear me, no, I couldn't take a present like that, said Twiddle. Dear me, yes, you could, laughed Very Rich. And he went to fetch the pony. It ran up to Twiddle and nuzzled its nose into his hand. He was so pleased because he could smell and he could feel the vibes from Twiddle that he was a very nice person. Well, I would love to have this pony, he said. Thank you very much. I'll treat her very well. I know that, said Very Rich. Twiddle climbed up on the pony's back and jogged happily home. With a kitten under his coat, 2 pigeons on his head, what a lot of good friends he had. He certainly would not be lonely. What do you think? Now that he had so many animals, lucky to have friends and keep them, but you have to be good, kind, and patient to keep those friends. So 3 white hens he had, a nice puppy dog, a kitten, 2 pigeons, and a pony. How lucky was he? He put the pony into the donkey's stable and told the pigeons they might live there too, and they could pick up any corn they wished. The puppy he put in a nice little kennel, and the kitten he said might live by the firesides. The hens were very happy and they coo and they run. For a whole week Twiddle and his new friends lived happily together. The pony took him to market and never complained at all, so unlike Kick-Up. The dog guarded him each night and always went with him for walks. The kitten sat on his knee. The hens laid him 3 eggs every day, and the pigeons called coo-roo, coo-roo. When they saw him flew down to his shoulders, he was so happy, and he deserved that happiness. Then one night when Twiddle was fast asleep, a fat grey donkey came back. He tried first one master and then another. That he had been disobedient and bad-tempered, and he had been beaten and half-starved. He was sorry he had ever left Twiddle. So he realized Twiddle was the best thing that had ever happened to him. He was the best master ever. He'll be glad to see me back, thought the donkey as he trotted homewards. He'll have been very lonely without me. He'll treat me better. It was dark when the donkey reached home. He trotted into the yard. Immediately the puppy dog in the kennel began to bark and flew at him. Snap! Wah, 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 wah. He was bitten in the leg and he brayed with pain. He ran to the stable, but the door was shut. He kicked it open and went inside, but someone else was there. The little pony. He kicked out with his hind feet, with his back, and the donkey was struck smartly on the nose. He deserved it. Biff! Then the pigeons flew down from the rafters and cried, "Coo!" angry at him, pecked the tips of his ears. Poor Kick-Up. How frightened he was. This was a dreadful homecoming. He didn't expect this. He left the stable and went to the house, but on the way he woke up the hens, who all started to cackle at once. A robber! A robber! Kick-Up pushed open the kitchen door, which was never locked. He ran into the kitchen to get away from all the frightening things in the yard, but the kitten, who was sitting by the fire, flew at him. In a rage, dug all her 20 claws into his legs and spat at him so fiercely that he backed into the kitchen in fright and bent over it. That woke up Twiddle, wondering whatever was the matter. He lit his candle and went downstairs. As soon as he saw the donkey, cried, "What are all the donkey saw him, said, "Twiddle, what are all these things you have that bite, kick, and scratch? Order them away at once. I've come home to keep you company again, because I was sorry to think of you sitting here lonely and sad without me." Now he's a wicked one, isn't he? And a selfish one. "Dear me, but I'm not at all lonely or sad," said Twiddle sharply. "I have plenty of good company and jolly friends. What have you come back for? I don't want you. You always were a bad-tempered, disobedient, selfish animal. So one should never be bad-tempered, never be disobedient, and never be selfish. Bad things happen. And I don't know how I put up with you. Be off with you. There's no room for you here." Kick-Up was so surprised that he stood staring at his mother. "Go away, I tell you," said Twiddle angrily. "What do you mean by disturbing us at this time? I don't want to see you anymore." The donkey ran out of the kitchen and went into the field. It was so wet and cold, but he did not dare to go to his stable again. He lay in the field all night, grieving. And In the morning, he went to twiddle again. Master, he said, hanging his head, forgive me, take me back. Send away those horrid creatures. I'll work for you. I'll be a good donkey. Stuff and nonsense, said Twiddle, patting the puppy and stroking the purring kitten. I don't want you anymore. If you like to live in the field next door and earn your keep by fetching and carrying for me, you can do so. But I don't want you to. I have enough animals here already. Kick Up had to live in the field. Do you think he deserved it? He had the goblin, gnome, let him live. Still he was kind. The puppy barked at him. Bah! The kitten spat at him. Psh, meow. The hens cackled, clack, 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 robber. The pigeon pecked his nose. Ooh, the pony stood ready, so he wasn't very happy. And now this runaway donkey, Kick Up, could not kick up his temper anymore. Excuse me. He doesn't complain now. He works hard, he's humble and quiet. Twiddle watch him out of the corner of his eye. Because, he really is fond of that silly grey donkey. So I expect he'll forgive him one day and take him back. But you may be sure he'll still keep his other friends. Because they are lovely, beautiful, caring friends. It was a good day for him when Kick Up ran away, wasn't it? So actually, something good happened. Good things come around when you're kind and good, when you're giving. So help your parents, be good to your parents and be kind to others. You remember Amna and Ahad story? You remember the prophet story I told you? How he took the little orphan who was crying on the Eid day and made him dress up, wash up, wear new clothes, eat food for Eid. And that brought such pleasure. And he did that for so many orphans and widows and invalids and poor people. We should remember that and learn from that and follow that. I love you. I love you. Remember me in your prayers. Hafiz, love you. Bye-bye.